Let's podcast. Alongside Joe Giglio, I'm Joe Ovies. We are not inside Eford Studios. We are in Charlotte. As always, we're brought to you by Copiers Plus. Check them out online at copiers-plus.com. I could use them for a little print management, document management, even some cord management. I think I finally figured out our technology camera issues today.
Okay.
Very excited about this. Also very excited to sit down with Jeff Dickert, the new Wake Forest football coach. Our friends Wes Durham and Taylor Tannebaum will be dropping by. My guy, Mike Solarte, help us talk a little Panthers football on today's show as well.
So this will be like a theme. We're getting all of your old timers.
Getting all of our friends together. One quick programming note, the Jim Phillips conversation, ACC commissioner conversation, is its own separate thing. I put that on the podcast feed. You should have seen it already. And of course, it's on YouTube as its own thing too. Figured that could just be broken out to its own thing. So if you want to check that out, go listen to that standalone episode, both on your favorite podcast platforms and of course on YouTube. Charlotte, so I got to hand it to you, Joe. You found the bougie part of Charlotte for the Airbnb.
And totally by accident.
Absolutely by accident. And my favorite part about the Airbnb that you secured on sale, no less.
It was on sale.
We have to be fiscally responsible here at OG Media LLC.
Jay will be very happy to know that I saved us a bunch of money on our Airbnb.
But what I did not realize is that there was a hot tub.
I didn't either.
So when I got to the Airbnb after hanging out at ACC Hospitality, you're nowhere to be found inside the Airbnb.
Nope.
So I'm checking out the place. I walk to the kitchen, and then what do I see through the windows? I see this. I see you lounging in the hot tub in the back of this Airbnb.
Missed opportunity not to have the OG light with me, though, of course.
I know. That was a missed opportunity. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see Giglio just lounging, vibing right now. I got to imagine that felt good on your neck and your back.
It did, actually.
Is that
the Jets were a little bit off?
Yeah.
But it was like 105 or something.
Okay.
It was a nice little boil.
Well, you know what? I might jump in there tomorrow morning because all the hot water goes to the hot tub, apparently.
That shower this morning was a little suspect.
It definitely was.
And I made sure to tell you, too, because I didn't want you blaming me for using all of the hot water.
I had my suspicions.
It was not me. I'm telling you, I didn't get any either.
I had my suspicions that you were the one that the reason why that was the case. So anyway, like I said, we got all these things coming up today. So far, within the first 24 hours of ACC Kickoff, I'll just reiterate what I thought yesterday. It's been an interesting ACC Kickoff for the weirdness of seeing Ron Rivera representing Cal or Frank Reich being here for Stanford, Andrew Luck, ACC legend, being here. But sometimes in all the confusion, I need something to comfort me, something to make me say it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. And that was last night when I walked up to ACC Hospitality and I was greeted by the strawberry Pop-Tart in memoriam for the Pop-Tarts Bowl. They had a little setup. They had all the Pop-Tarts you could eat. No gods, no kings, only Pop-Tarts, Joe. That's what we recognize here. Look, the setup is fantastic. In fact, my guy Chris wants a 3D print. He's like, can you just take a picture of all angles so I can put that in my 3D printer and I can have that for my Halloween decorations? The ghost of Pop-Tarts past.
Oh, man.
That's definitely something we should do. Anyway, that's all the things that are going on right now. Let's just go ahead and get into some ACC matters with our guy, Wes Durham. Look, it's not an ACC event unless we are sitting down with Wes Durham, the mayor of the ACC here in Charlotte.
Stop.
But it's the new ACC.
It's a happier, kindler, gentler ACC this year.
You had to be in your
Cali
NFL
vibes.
bag yesterday.
Why is that?
Ron Rivera's walking around. Frank Reich is here. Andrew Luck, who was unrecognizable because he's so skinny now. Like you had to be back in it.
40-minute sit-down with Ron Rivera and Andrew Luck yesterday that will air on ACC Network in August. Shameless plug there.
Very cool. So initially, my reaction to this sort of stuff is, I joked about this yesterday, like, what happened to the conference I love? But then I got over it, and I'm seeing it on TV. No, what I'm saying is, I'm like watching it on TV. I'm at ACC Hospitality. They got the ACC Network running in the background.
ACC Hostility?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought
Not
to myself,
anymore. I mean,
No.
the Pop-Tart guy's there. How can it be hostile, right?
Right, exactly.
But I realized, I'm like, you know what? Shit, man, it's actually pretty good to see Ron Rivera repping Cal in the ACC.
And excited about it.
Right.
And Andrew Luck excited about it.
ACC legend Andrew Luck.
Hey, I said when
Luke
I said
Kuechly was here yesterday.
Luke Kuechly came
Was
rolling
running
through.
around.
Yeah,
BC's not till tomorrow.
I know.
Well, I
We
heard
gotta
there.
get Matt Ryan needs to be repping.
I know, right?
So I joking with Andrew Luck yesterday before we tape this piece that'll air sometime in August. I said, by the way, Andrew Luck said, hey, we're just grateful to be in the league. He used the word saved with me. The ACC saved us and Cal. Okay? So here's the next thing. I go, well, if that's the case then, Andrew, you're an ACC legend.
Hell yes.
And he goes, really? I said, absolutely.
It's that simple.
Because when we saved you, we get all the copyright, all the traditions, all the legends. So that means Lynch, Goff, John Elway, Jim Plunkett, all of them. Christian CMC, ACC legend.
I expressed
Bryce
this.
Love.
Bryce Love, ACC legend.
I expressed this to people in the ACC office, and I was not being facetious when I said this.
Of course you weren't. Never are.
Hey, yesterday was you and McElwain going back.
Yeah.
Wes is the one that wants to get me fired up here.
Mix it up? No, we're good.
No. What do you call it? The union labor meeting? In
The
Hoover?
one last week in Atlanta?
Which was boring as hell.
4 days old, and they ran out of material after 2.5.
Dude, not even two
Not
and a half.
even.
They ran out of material
Saban
on
might
day
come back.
one. On day one. So I again, getting over it. I thought to myself, well, what's the SEC trotting out? The same garbage. Nobody's tougher than us. This and that. Welcome to our
Talk about a super conference. Welcome to this.
Welcome to what?
Yeah.
And then to your point, the only thing really interesting that came out of it was a 24-hour period of Nick Saban speculation that Greg McElroy immediately walked back the minute he was in front of a microphone again.
G-Mac, come on, bro.
I got, as we mentioned, we got Cal and Stanford repping. Bill Belichick's going to be here tomorrow. That's going to be an absolute zoo. So I got to give the ACC credit.
All right.
There's actually some interesting stuff that's unfolding this week.
Who do you think faces the biggest challenge tomorrow when Bill Belichick steps to the podium?
Biggest challenge?
Who faces the biggest challenge?
I mean, it's got to be the person with who's picking questions. Like you, all right, next row, that person, go to the microphone.
I don't disagree with that, but let me go one step further. Tomorrow, our colleagues will be facing their biggest challenge ever.
And that is?
Because they'll have to identify themselves
He doesn't suffer fools.
and their workplace.
Oh.
And if Joe, this is when we could use Mike Reese and Tom Curran to come in and offer a 10-minute symposium on
This is how to ask a question to Bill
asking
Belichick.
Bill questions. Because I want to tell you, somebody tomorrow
We're on to TCU.
runs the risk of we're on to TCU.
Do we want to start?
All practices are competitive.
Do we want to pool? You want to pull together who's going to be that person?
I don't. That would be inappropriate. I don't want to diminish the industry.
I mean, Josh Graham's even odds,
Oh, Josh.
right?
Oh, boy.
I think
Even
there's
odds.
there's a minus in there somewhere. Minus 150, Giglio.
Well, are you going to have an opportunity to talk to Bill? Is the ACC Network going to have an opportunity to talk to Bill?
He is going to be on set. I will not. I'm doing content that's going to air later in the month.
I guess the
Next month,
curiosity,
too.
we talked about this a little bit with Stephen Godfrey, the split zone duo.
Oh, boy.
In anticipation for the Sports Podcast Festival, August 23rd, the Rialto. Be
Get your
there.
tickets at therialto.com.
What do we know about this UNC football team?
Here's what I think, and
Let's strip all the other stuff aside. What's this
the
football
broadcast geek in me has done just some probing of things. Number one, Bill Belichick has statistically never had a terrible defense.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Cleveland, certainly when he worked for Parcells in New York, even his own Patriot teams, there were never bad defenses.
Sure.
Okay? So based on where Carolina was statistically, I think we can say they will be better on defense.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you need a name tag or that strip of tape across the forward part of the helmet to tell the name, or even, when they hand out the numbers. Offensively, I'm intrigued. Freddie Kitchens, when he was the head coach at Cleveland, and when he's been an offensive coordinator, he's been almost virtually 11 personnel, which is one running back, one tight end. In that formation, I'll be interested to see if the tight end is actually kind of the H, the mover. Sometimes it's been a hand on the ground kind of Y guy. I think Jordan Shipp, to me, feels like the multi-purpose dual threat guy for them. I think the quarterback situation is going to dictate some of that. If it's Gio Lopez, who is a dual threat as well, I think they got a chance to be pretty explosive. I'm with Giglio. The schedule is very manageable, very doable to 7 or 8. However, I think opening night's a hard game.
I agree.
They're reloading a little bit on both sides of the ball. But Josh Hoover, I mean, Roddy and I had this conversation back in April. Josh Hoover's a really good quarterback at TCU. Finished nice, too. Now, they've lost a ton of guys around him, but I still think TCU Carolina is a street fight.
I predict you're going to do a Davion Gauss, C.J. Bailey. These guys went to high school together and with the best player in the country feature for the ACC network. I actually think he can be a really good back for them.
I do, too. I think that's going to be the other question. Amarian Hampton was sensational.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And covered up a lot of ills, right? I believe Davion Goss has a chance to be really good for them and impactful for them. I think they're going to be better in the offensive line than they've been in the previous 2 years. And it'll be interesting, but I think they're going to be good defensively. They're going to win some ugly games, though. There are going to be some days where they're not going to be able to. And I saw this transition happen with Paul Johnson. I saw it happen in every coaching change. There are going to be a couple games you're going to have to just win it and find a way. Saw it last year with Manny Diaz with SMU. SMU turned the ball over 6 times, found a way to win the game. That Carolina's going to have to do some of that, too.
It's funny. We've got State. We've got Carolina. I mean, Carolina's obvious. It's Bill Belichick. That's the storyline. With NC State, man, after all these years, we kind of know what the storylines are. Dave, he's right where he wants to be.
Nobody's talking about him.
Not a soul's talking about NC State. So we've seen this movie before. I actually think the most intriguing team in the triangle is Duke. They won in the portal with their quarterback.
27 wins in 3 years, right?
Yeah. So, but also what Manny has already kind of instantly installed at Duke, winning in the portal by getting a legitimate QB in Mensa.
Yeah, no question.
Defense should be good again.
I think so. They've got veteran players at all 3 levels.
It's hard to win 6.
VJ Anthony, by the way, has been there a decade. He's been there since, like, Obama was in office.
It's hard to go 6-1 in one-score games back-to-back years.
True.
So there could be a little regression there. Might not go your way, but I do think that Duke and Manny are very comfortable. You say winning ugly. They're very comfortable winning.
Right. Well, Chandler Rivers is very good. Trey Freeman's very good. VJ Anthony's very good. They got experience. Wesley Williams is back. They got experience at all 3 levels on defense.
Yeah.
The question I have is Anderson Castle, Peyton Jones, how's the run game work? And then Andrell Anthony. Andrell Anthony's a hell of a find in the portal, guys. Good receiver at Oklahoma. I mean, between Andrell Anthony and the Eric Rivers kid at Georgia Tech who came from Florida International, you're talking about kids that could come right in this league and have a major impact in the success of certain programs. I think that's kind of where this league feels like it's on the upswing a little bit.
Sure.
And I think it's a little – look, Clemson-Miami is the easiest 1-2 we've had in the preseason in a long time.
Yeah.
But 3 through 7, Giglio?
Are we sure? Miami's 2? I mean, I know that's where they'll be picked.
They'll be picked there.
They'll be picked 1-2.
We've seen this movie before.
Yeah, Clemson – and by the way, if Clemson's not unanimous, we ought to look at votes.
They have to be unanimous.
They have to be unanimous.
They won't be.
No, they won't. Because somebody from 1620, the Sports Possum, will vote, you know.
They won't be.
You know, we might rebrand that.
I was actually going to ask you last year. I told all you motherfuckers that SMU was going to be here in Charlotte in the ACC championship game, and goddamn it if I wasn't right. But I can't sit here with any confidence this year and tell you who I think is going to be here.
Just hit all the codes, didn't we? There, yeah.
I can't tell you who.
Galvanized the E on the old podcast, didn't we?
Joe likes to remind people, hey, we're not on radio.
That's right.
So,
I would say this. I love that program. The Pony Bros, as Jones Angel calls them, have come in this league.
Dude, I love that they're here.
Me
I think
too.
It's great.
I do too. Craig James was here yesterday. I mean, next thing you know, we get to Gold Trans Am and Eric Dickerson walking through the door.
And it's all legal now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to tell you.
Do what you want.
I don't know how it all works out. I'd bring the owner-operator, David Collins, in here. I'd bring that guy in here. Let everybody see what this looks like.
But who do you think? Do you think it will be Miami as the other team playing
I think
Clemson?
That's the easy pick because I think Miami's got real good depth on both sides.
Right.
I think we have to, at least for the time being, bet on Beck's return. Although I want to see the first game's Notre Dame now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to find out quick.
They're not winning the first game.
So for me, I think 3 through 7. Those
It's
five
probably
schools.
more.
Those
Probably
five
more.
schools are really going to be interesting.
Duke, Carolina, Louisville,
Georgia Tech, SMU,
Pitt. Well, what's wrong with Pitt? Syracuse, obviously their schedule's a whole lot tougher.
and don't forget the flyer that could be Virginia. Chandler Morris is a
So,
really good
I
quarterback.
think the Flyers actually Wake Forest.
It's funny.
Indiana Light.
I was listening to the
Indiana.
I mean, they bought a shit ton of players from Washington State. He's
Yeah.
got me sold. We're built in the darkness or something. I was all fired up. We had Jake Dickert on earlier in this program.
Oh boy.
Well,
I'm
it's,
ready.
it's funny you mentioned
Oh,
Virginia
boy.
because I was listening to Cover 3 podcast, Chip Patterson and the boys on the drive to Charlotte, and I listened to their Dark Horse episode, and they were all in on Virginia because of the schedule. Because one of the things that we do routinely in the ACC is look at the schedule. It's kind of like your worst to first
Sure,
in the NFL
right. I
division,
agree.
right? So
Yeah.
just look at the schedule. And I made that comment to Eric Macklin, your colleague.
And what'd he say?
His face gave it away. Like, what? For Virginia? No.
Hey, he does his own shows. He's got his own.
I know.
Yeah.
But I bring this up.
Brought to you by Ingles, by the way, in
I
case
know.
you need to check it
Hey,
out.
look, we're all hustling.
Yeah, we're hustling.
We're all hustling. here.
hustling.
I bring that exchange up mainly to show the point that the ACC, when it comes to this dark horse stuff, who's going to surprise you? Man, we don't fucking know.
Yeah, but we've had, to Joe's point, we've had 4 fly from the bottom of the line into the front of the line in the last 4 or
Like,
5
what
But
is
years.
even Syracuse last year, I could not have told
Couldn't
you
have predicted
Syracuse.
that.
was gonna
Yeah,
win
that's
10
true,
games.
but
I could not have done that.
That's what I'm saying. 4 or 5 straight years, we've had a team below the line
Yeah,
fly into the top 6.
I mean, would it shock you if NC State surprised people
I
this
think
year and
it's-
walk out of here
hey,
with a
look,
win against North Carolina?
Let me just, can I let this one out of the bag?
Let's
I'm
go.
coming there on Thursday night. I'll be there for the lid lifter.
All right. Let's
Oh,
go.
you're working.
He's working.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And then
well, I
we're
was
going to
in-
Virginia on Saturday.
Will there
I
be
was
a
in
fight
Annapolis.
that Thursday night?
I'm going to tell you this.
How much
Our-
purple
our-
will be in the sold out? But
our-
sold out by who?
Let me ask you this. I've already told the producer and our director we're going to put a camera on lockdown an hour and 15 minutes before the game.
Yes. Now
And
we're
he said,
talking.
why? And I said, trust me, you want that camera on lockdown.
We had Coach Harrell on the program.
And he was like, "Oh no!" That's like, so
Yeah,
I got
wrong.
nothing but respect.
Wrong.
Nothing but respect for Dave
And
Dorn.
by the way, NC State folks, I just want to tell you straight up, and those of you that are East Carolina fans, yes, I'm running Jeff Blake to Luke Fisher in the Peach Bowl. Yes, I'm going to run the field goal that State
Hell
kicked
yes.
late at Greenville to win.
Hell yes.
Yeah, we're going to run it all.
Let's freaking
this,
go.
This, to me, is not a good game. This is a great game
I agree.
for week 1.
Give me more of that.
Oh, give me all of this.
All right, before we say goodbye, we had talked to ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips. Again, we broke that out on its
By
own
the
thing.
way, he was out in the open. You boys weren't in the private sector doing the interview this year.
It happened to be with our location this year. You notice where we're at?
Oh, you're right here by the gate.
Easy in and out.
Pop in, pop out.
Ghost. See ya. He
Yeah.
was never here. He was a.
That's it.
he was-
Never
he-
happened.
A myth.
Yeah.
Never happened. Anyway, so we appreciate the
He
commissioner's
knows
time.
who's important. He knows 5-star when he sees it.
Hey, got a polo and everything.
That's right.
So
Roback Bowl.
part of the we were running out of time, and I hit him with consensus. Right, it's hard enough to get consensus amongst the Power 4 commissioners.
Right.
And as we witnessed at the SEC meetings in spring and last year at your union labor meeting, Greg Sankey can't even get consensus with his own damn coaches. Right.
Yeah.
We're 3 months away from this college football thing being like, you got to lock it in. What are we doing with this format? Here's my thing. If you're the ACC and the Big Ten, who's hell-bent, the Big Ten is hell-bent on automatic qualifiers.
Yeah, you know why.
They know because they know they ain't getting 4 most years. That's
How many
why.
times did they deserve 4?
Exactly. So I see why they want it. I get why the coaches in the SEC are telling Greg Sankey, dude, 5-11, we're getting 6, 7 teams in that thing. What do you like? Why are you limiting us? So I
Correct.
get where they're coming from.
Right.
The linchpin in all this is, what if in the next 3 months they came to Jim Phillips and said, all right, how about we get 4, the SEC and the Big Ten, you get 3. Brett Yormark, he doesn't need it now. He gets 2. Would the ACC take 3 automatic qualifiers and move off the 5-11?
How long's the contract?
Through 2031.
Yeah, he'd take it.
Okay.
But that won't buy the system success.
Meaning what?
The college football playoff is never going to gain the full trust of the American sporting public if it's not equitable.
I agree with you on that.
And
Can't be an
that's-
invitational.
It can't be an invitational.
Well, is it an
can't
invitational
be-
now?
No, it is, but it isn't. It also can't be an event that's analogous to the NCAA basketball tournament. It has to be
In
explained.
scope and size, or
Well, no, it has to be done where everybody thinks the formula is equitable.
oh, okay.
Okay. So we need like a Warren Nolan team sheet for these teams? Like, what are we
but
talking
you
about?
need, and this goes back to our conversation.
Because
Give us some consistent data.
It needs to go 8 or 9.
Okay.
Everybody plays the same number.
Okay.
And then you have the non-conference chemistry of, let's say if you're playing 3 games, you can play 2 FBS and you play 1 FCS. Well, your 2 FBS have to be against other teams from the other 3 power conferences. Okay?
Okay.
If you're going to play an FCS. If you don't, you can play 2 G5s in an FBS. I don't care. But here's the thing. The American sporting public, and by the way, they're not catching the NFL in television.
No.
Why we continue
No
to
one is.
play games opposite the NFL is beyond me.
No.
It's just ridiculous.
Oh, playoff-wise, you mean?
Yes. Why do
Yeah.
we play the first round opposite 2 NFL games?
Well, because the NFL is not really giving you much in terms of inventory at this point.
But back up the calendar, make week 0 week 1.
Okay.
Because and
I
by
get
the
what
way,
you're saying.
the story's leaking. J.C. Tretter's doing the story for you. The NFL is going to try and play 18 games in 2031 over 20 weeks.
I know.
They're getting ready to smoke the calendar out from under you.
And take all your money. Because that's the other thing about 2030 that I find interesting with the college football playoff.
Can
You
we
better
just-
get this right, because that money, it's all going to the NFL.
But can't we get the scheduling formula right first before we start planning how many go and how they go?
They can't, because the SEC knows they're holding that 9th conference game. Their next big money play
Oh, I know
isn't
what it is.
adding,
You're right.
It's not adding another team.
No, it's 9 games.
It's the 9
That's
games.
it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
their
we're
money.
all right on that.
Well,
So-
I don't want an invitational, but I do want the better games being played, and I feel like it's one without, you can't have one without the other. So I say I'll live with the irregularities of college football scheduling if it's a 5-11 model. But if you do go the other way, then you do have to fix the schedule.
I
You got to
agree.
fix the calendar.
I think you gotta fix
get
schedule
rid of
either
all
way.
the fucking FCS games. They should be played in the preseason.
Spring.
In the preseason.
Okay.
Because people are starving for football in the
right
second
now
week
we
of
can play.
August.
Right now we can
So
play.
you play it on the second Saturday of August.
Media days are over. You're playing football.
Right. And and the score doesn't count. Now all of a sudden you're not worried about losing to Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not losing your job. It's very clear you're playing all your players.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a much more, and you're still giving a payday to those schools. Not that that's your obligation, but you still have a payday for those schools.
Wes is
Now
looking
you're
at the
playing.
watch.
Now you're playing all either conference games or you're going to play real football games. Everything else, send it to somewhere else.
I gotta go get on the 5th estate.
Okay, go do it. We appreciate the time as always.
It's great
man.
to see you.
So
By the
you're
way, the roadbacks look nice. Use your code OG20.
Damn right.
That's right.
And you're going to be here, ECU, NC State.
I will be in Raleigh. I'm excited to be at Carter Finley Stadium on Thursday night
So-
for the Pack and the Pirates.
Are we getting an OG Media headquarters visit?
Potentially.
Let's
do
go.
it.
See you, boys.
Housekeeping is brought to you by Enovana. Check them out online at enovana.com. Green cleaning solution.
You know who's calling their phone?
I hit the wrong button.
You are.
You are hitting that phone to contact Enovana.
If you have mess inside your mansion or trash in your cabana, get it clean with Enovana.
Some housekeeping notes related to the podcast. We will be bringing back the mailbag in a YouTube member exclusive along with OG Business. That'll launch in a couple of weeks as we get ready for the football season. OG Light still available at some fine locations like our friends at Butcher's Market. P Street should be getting a re-up soon.
Okay.
I did talk to Chris about contacting Bond Brothers to get another re-up of OG Light. And
Yeah, our guy Healy, said he went by yesterday.
you're gone.
Sold out.
Hey, look, guys, we
Thank
love
you.
it. Thank you. No, honestly, thank you for going out and buying the beer and showing places of business that carry beer that's worth carrying. Because you can imagine Chris's face when we went to P Street Market and like,
First time.
who are these two jabronis that want to give us a beer?
Well, he
and-
knows me as the guy always looking for the Busch Light Peach.
and he knows me as the guy that goes in there to buy the weed drinks. So he's like, in fact, somebody had told me, it's like, yeah, Chris knows who you are. He had no idea that you had a podcast or any of that stuff. I'm like, yeah, why would he? I
Yeah.
just go, he just knows me as the guy who's always trying new weed drinks.
He's a Washington football fan.
Yes. So anyway, you can imagine his face when we're like, hey, carry our beer. He's like, are you sure? And sure enough, you guys went in there and you bought it all out. So that's fantastic. He's going to get some more. Of course, our friends at Long Leaf Swan also have access to OG Light. You have access to some wonderful OG Media gear. Go to ogtrianglemediashop.com right now. That's ogtrianglemediashop.com. That'll take you to our basic storefront. We have our Triangle Good pocket tee, comfort colors. I'm wearing one right now. You can get it in tank top form. We brought back the Drunk Wolf, the Drunk OG. You can get that in tank top form as well. And big shouts to our guy Michael, who designed the OG Light After Dark Owl getting crunk image with all of his friends.
Nocturnal delight.
Yes. So go ahead, go to ogtrianglemediashop.com and get your shirts today. That's going to wrap up by Labor Day. So if you've been on the fence about getting some merch, understand it goes back into the vault
Right.
Labor Day.
And we have our hats ready already.
We do have our hat design
for the Sports Podcast Festival 823 The Rialto. Go to therialto.com. Get your tickets.
So by all means, go to therialto.com, buy those tickets, and you'll have a great time with our friends Split Zone Duo and Big Screen Sports. And, of course, we'll have OG Light and access to an exclusive hat at that event. Of course, all of our ACC coverage is brought to you by our friends at Bloom & Blind. Speaking of the After Dark Owl, they will be sponsoring After Darks throughout the football season. We'll have our first one for that North Carolina TCU game. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for
Let's
this.
go.
So you get ready for this upcoming season by knocking out some of those to-do lists, like fixing shades, fixing blinds, or just outright replacing them all and not having to do it yourself. That's where Chris and Bloom & Blinds come into play. Check them out, 919-980-9815. Call them directly, and it'll be all good. Big thanks to our friends at Two Roosters. Speaking of things that are running out of time is running out on our flavor.
It's the 23rd.
Only a few more days left.
Got a week left.
The Joe and Joe salted peanut butter fudge, and in cake form. You got to order it. So go to tworoosters.com, get it, buy pints of it, put it in an extra freezer, because that's going to go back into the vault.
Legit
Back into the vault.
Yeah.
Not like we'll dust it off Disney
Not
style.
ours. Hey,
I know. Could you? Maybe we'll do this. So anyway, go to tworoosters.com. They'll have new flavors, obviously, in August. But if you want ours, you better get it now. Joining us at ACC Kickoff is the new head coach of Wake Forest football. He is Jake Dickert. This is strange for us, man. Like, this is like almost speed dating. Like, we get to know each other now.
Let's go. You got a list of questions. We're just going to roll through it.
Well, you know, you haven't gotten the full Giglio yet. So let's just like dive in with the full Giglio here, shall
All right,
we?
so Oconomowoc? Economowoc.
Oconto.
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 Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Okay.
Oconomowoc is a city in Wisconsin, yes.
Okay, but that's so Wikipedia failed me, is what you're saying.
Wikipedia's wrong, yes.
Okay.
I appreciate your
Wikipedia
diligent
people,
research.
get Jake Dickert updated, please. But you're from Wisconsin.
I'm from Wisconsin.
You're 42 years old.
Yeah.
Would you like a beer-flavored beer at 9:50 in the morning?
You know, I
4%?
I could do that.
Yeah.
Beer and cheese like flows through my blood.
I was gonna say,
I'm
yeah.
the guy in the office that has the foam cheese head. Like, you're not a real Packer fan or a man until you put the foam cheese on your head. But more of a spotted cow guy, Wisconsin-style beer.
We've been told that has hints of spotted cow.
It's our beer.
It's our beer.
OG
So-
Light.
So
That's us.
go check that out.
You're unfamiliar with
Well,
us.
after today, I'll crack one open.
We'll send one home with Will
Appreciate
for you.
it.
So look, I'm old enough and I've been doing this long enough that I know what Wake Forest football was under Jim Grobe. I know what it was under Dave Clawson. Build, take an opportunity, take advantage of that opportunity. We saw it twice. What is your imprint on Wake Forest football? Because everything is modernizing and you can't necessarily do that anymore. So what are you bringing to the table with the Demon Deacons?
I think one of the biggest things, the reason I'm here is because of the stability of the program.
Yeah.
3 head coaches in 30 years, that's very rare as you go look across the country. We're in one of the best recruiting regions that you could possibly be in.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here because of the investment that has been laid before us.
Mm-hmm.
We have one of the top facilities in the ACC. The university is committed to being full to the cap. But it's a new era of energy, of passion, of development. We've had an opportunity at a previous place at Washington State to coach Cam Ward for 2 years.
Yep.
We found and developed, John Mateer, Falili Falamui, who's with us now. He came to us as a 210-pound defensive end off the island of America, Samoa, and he's a 325-pound offensive tackle now. Mm-hmm. Those kids are still out there.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't completely scrap the developmental process. The problem is, our society is in a microwave culture.
Yeah.
They want instant success.
Yeah.
Football players got to be put in a slow cooker. You just got to go out there and find the right ones.
Well, what's interesting is what you're hitting on. I could see where that might be a problem at Washington State, and it's been an issue at Wake Forest in terms of investment, NIL, retaining that talent so that you can develop them. So when you talk about a Wake Forest investment and why you took this job, I'm assuming that this is allowing you to have a Cam Ward type talent and be able to keep a Cam Ward type talent. Is that the investment you're getting?
There's no question.
Okay.
You know, there's a difference between alignment and vision.
Yeah.
Okay. At Wake Forest, we're aligned,
Yeah.
right? We're going to invest tremendously, and it's not going to be based just on the immediate results. We're going to believe in this process that we created, and it still is built on relationships. You got to have people that want in today's world to engage in a process, right? And you got to do that. You got to have consistency in coaching staff. Coach Clausen did an unbelievable job of that. You got to be able to ride the waves of the highs and lows. There won't be a shortcut path to success here at Wake Forest. There won't. We brought in over 43 new players since I was hired 217 days ago, right?
Okay.
So it doesn't just happen, and you got to be able to build teams. And I'm really proud of our guys. They've embraced our energy. We've changed a lot of different things that we believe relates to kids in today's world, and that's going to happen and lead to results on the field.
You have to feel like a little sense of relief. In 23, you're at Wazoo. Last year, the Pac-12. Last year, let's be honest, you guys got screwed. You're out there on your own playing whoever, any warm port in the sea. You guys were playing last year. Now you're in a league. You got a spot. I'm assuming you got a long-term deal. You got to feel pretty good about where you are in this part of your life, especially after the experience of the last 2 years.
Guys, this game has given me so much. I'm extremely thankful for it. 17 years ago, I was a Division III graduate assistant. I was painting the lines on the field.
You did both Dakotas.
I've been in South Dakota 3 different times. Okay, we moved 11 times in 17 years.
Jeez.
Right, so this process isn't easy. I'm very thankful for it. I've been through some of the biggest adversity in the country, and we're strengthened by it. But to be here in a league that I believe is not slotted, right? You find, develop, retain, execute on game day. You can win the league. So it's energizing to me. A lot of people want to talk about the obstacles. I'm just excited about the opportunity that Wake Forest presents.
I'm not great with geography, obviously, but are Washington and Washington State even close in geography-wise?
They're about 5 hours. One's West Coast on the water and one's East Coast in the Palouse.
They're nowhere near each other, right?
No,
like all
no
those
question.
Dakotas, ain't nothing fucking close in Dakotas, right?
Try recruiting to Laramie, Wyoming.
Okay.
That was
All
the
right.
toughest one.
So what I'm getting at is now you're here.
Yeah.
You're familiarizing yourself with the Big Four, Carolina, Duke, State. You're understanding the dynamics.
I think that happens in day one, guys.
Okay.
I think that's really, really simple.
But here's the real question.
Yeah.
When did Dave Clausen hand you the secret playbook that said, here,
Careful with Wake Forest and secret playbooks.
Well, yeah, hand over the keys to the kingdom and say, here, when NC State's really good, this is how you beat them. Because that guy vexed NC State more than anyone maybe in the history of this league.
Yeah, you have a job.
He always
That's
had
to-
State's number.
That's to ruin State's season. That's your
only
job.
when they're good, though. Only when they're good.
I think the best part of Coach Clausen is he's had tremendous success here.
Yeah,
And let's throw recent bias out. I mean, he's built an amazing foundation. So we're the only ACC program in the state of North Carolina to win the ACC championship the last 40 years.
Yes.
Why do people not know that?
Look at you.
Well, why do people not know that? Why don't they talk about it? We're not the little engine that could, guys. We're not. And that's what we're here to bring, a new attitude, a new fire, a blue-collar, tough mentality to Wake Forest. And I'm excited about it.
So all your travel, I heard you're a golfer.
That's a loose term.
Okay.
I
I heard your
I play
handicap.
the game.
I heard your handicap was pretty good. I mean, I could go because it's a hot thing right now with fans.
He's wearing all black right now, but I bet you he has a white belt that matches his shoes. And I always tell my
I'm
son,
definitely not that guy.
I got a 17-year-old. I go, don't ever fucking play for money against somebody in a white belt.
That's right. I have 2 boys. My boys are 10 and 8. They love the game.
Yeah.
I get out and play with them. It's my excuse to get the boys out of the house and out of my wife's hair.
Yep.
So
and
I
they
play
listen to you when they play golf, right?
They
That's
do.
the only time my youngest will listen to me.
They do.
Seriously.
I know this. Since I've had 3 kids, my golf game is just tanked.
Okay.
Right. So
So you have a 5 handicap and not a.
There's this
I'm
hot-
more like a 12.
There's a hot trend right now. There's a hot trend right now where fans are going and finding the handicaps on the website of their coaches. And
That's
like,
SEC.
No, people
They're
like,
crazy.
Apparently, Dave Dorn's got a pretty good handicap as well. So But my curiosity isn't the amount of golf that you were able to play. I'm just thinking of all these stops. You've had to play some interesting tracks in your time.
Okay, I graduated from Kohler High School,
Okay.
which is the home of Whistling Straits. Okay, so
Yeah.
I actually was on the golf team, Black Wolf Run,
Okay.
tremendous course, Whistling Straits. If you ever get an opportunity, a plug for Kohler, Wisconsin.
Okay. Yep.
Go stay at the American Club,
All right.
and they have boys' weekend, and go out there and play all the courses at Whistling Straits. It's like you just stepped into Ireland. It's incredible.
But that's an obvious one, right? I'm more curious about, I want a hidden gem golf course that we can do a tax write-off trip for me and Giglio.
I was going to say Pebble Beach, but
No, I
that's
want
not
to. What's a hidden
Bandon
gem?
Dunes. Bandon Dunes in Oregon. If you ever get out to go to
Bandon
Bandon Dunes in Oregon,
Okay.
it's incredible. A lot of people don't know about it. It's a great place.
Okay. We got 2 minutes here.
Oh,
so.
I thought Coach was giving us the hook. You have a quarterback. I don't know if he's going to start for you. I'm going to put you on the hot seat. Name all of the schools Robbie Ashford's been at.
Oregon, Auburn, South Carolina, Wake Forest.
Boo! I forgot your Pac-12 that you knew.
You do them all. Do them all.
Yeah, I would hope everybody knows that. Here's the thing. Robbie's the best athletic quarterback I've ever been around. He's that athletic. He could be a starting safety. We're going to utilize probably a 2-quarterback system.
Okay.
And he's got a unique talent. Deshaun Purdy has an amazing arm. Those guys are going to battle it out during fall camp, but just excited about the versatility that both of those guys bring.
Built in the dark. Is that yours?
It's
Is that-
ours.
it's
I would
yours.
say it's ours.
Okay.
It's not a mantra, it's a mentality.
Okay.
Right. Greatness comes from the unseen moments that nobody sees.
Okay.
A lot of people are scared of the dark because it's unfamiliar and it's uncomfortable. We need to be built there. I don't want players that chase the light. Okay. The recruiting stars, the money, the rankings, the light's blinding. Right. We need to live in a place that we love the process. We understand our purpose and why we get up every day. And we embrace adversity. This game's full of it.
Hey, man. Look, I'm not telling the Wake Forest Jumbotron graphics people to, but this just sounds like a moment for Bane to come out.
Yeah, Raza Azul.
Right?
Don't climb towards the light,
You
though.
guys are getting ready
we're-
like you merely adopted the dark.
We're molded by it.
See? All right.
So the biggest
Okay.
thing we need to do is we're going to grab you and we're going to take you in the dark, and it's going to be a hell of a game.
So when you see Steve Forbes, Wake Forest basketball coach, ask him about the time he was announced as the basketball coach. We're in the middle of the pandemic. Will, you might remember this. Were you even there when Forbes got the job? Were you still, okay. So, Forbes he's bald, and he had the mask on, and it was straight out of Bane. I was just waiting for Steve to break.
He's got that little growl to his voice.
I was just
Yeah.
waiting for the mask to come off. He's like, Batman. And I was like, come on, I need that. So bring that up. See if he remembers it.
I will.
Coach Dickert, we appreciate the time. Welcome to the ACC.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
And we look forward to you making NC State fans mad.
Absolutely. We're going to continue on the tradition.
Big thing. Oh, there's the big Bobby, Mike Solarte. He'll join us here in a little bit. In the meantime, we want you to join all of our OG community who has done the right thing by contacting our friends at Miller Lending. Go to millerlending.com/theOG or call them directly at 919-447-3377. You don't pay closing costs. Closing costs are a game. The idea being, I'll pay a bunch of money, save a little bit on a slightly lower rate, maybe save $50 to $60 a month, and I'm good forever. No. It takes about 8 years for you to break even on paying closing costs. So don't do that. Typically, people will refinance about every 4 years for any number of reasons. So what do? You contact Miller Lending. 919-447-3377. You get a Raleigh Wine Shop gift basket, and
I have this rollback if you want it.
Yeah.
I have 2 extra of these. Or you can pick out any one you want. Pick out any one you want. I'll buy it for you. Or OG Media will buy it for you. I'll put it that way.
All that happens when you close with our friends at Miller Lending. Speaking of Roback, you can go online right now at roback.com. Use that promo code OG20. Super hype that I have my replacement
I
hat.
know. Ben was thinking about you. He saw you. You really did have some really good pictures from your trip out west.
I mean, come on.
Your state parks and all these other things. Nature. You were like one with nature.
I was.
You were water. And unfortunately, the hat took that seriously and went in the water.
And look, I'm not saying that. Look, Roback does an amazing job with their product photos, but
You did better.
I had an action shot
Yeah, it was great.
on a river.
I think that's why
In
he
Canada.
rewarded you. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Reward yourself with the comfort of road bag. We got polos that are incredibly comfortable. I'll be wearing mine tomorrow. I'm kind of disappointed that we're not matching today.
I know. But I think this one's kind of important, too, in the sense that, yes, I'm into the crazy patterns, but not everyone is into crazy patterns.
I am not.
So
when it comes to polos.
They have solids. They have
Good
just
stuff.
a single stripe.
It's good stuff.
You got all kinds, and I promise you it's the best golf shirt you'll ever wear.
So go to roadback.com. Use that promo code OG20.
Look at the sun started shining when Ryan McGee.
I know. It's funny how that works out. We like to play games with our audience. Can you tell the difference between Ryan McGee and Wes Durham? Let's find out.
I wish I had the Star Wars scroll right now for them to read, and
All
we
right.
can determine who's
First
who.
of all, one of us went to Apex and one of us settled at Broughton.
Whoa.
Oh, one of us' father was a legendary ACC broadcaster. The other one was a not so legendary ACC football official.
I can't tell. I really can't tell.
And every year we would make Mark Packer reluctantly pose with us for the ACC Sons of Someone Club. All that is true. Thank you.
Right.
Next year, maybe y'all can afford an extra chair.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
All right. Well, take it up with finance over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
CFO over here. All right. Ryan, hold on.
Hey.
Ryan McGee.
Actual Ryan
ESPN.
McGee.
Yes.
Actual Ryan McGee, not Wes Durham, now sitting with us here on the Easter Automotive Group. Microphone. Ryan, what's up, man?
So the funniest thing is that Wes and I talk a lot of times on the phone just during the week, and I'll have him on speakerphone. And when my daughter was little, my daughter would look at me like, well, who are you talking to? And then, and now my daughter's gotten to know him. One day he came by the house. He was in Charlotte for something and came by the house, and him standing in my living room talking to me, and my daughter just could not stop laughing because she's like, this is the craziest thing ever. We get that a lot. But there was a Marty and McGee where Marty, I don't know, he was shooting a TV commercial for Academy or whatever.
Jumping out of a plane.
Doing something.
Right.
The Tom Cruise of ESPN, willing to die for our entertainment. And but Marty couldn't do the show, so I had Wes come in and do. I think it was 2 hours in, and people were like, "Don't ever do that again. We can't. We don't know how it's happening."
You just cannot tell through the speakers. But I know there's one distinct way to tell the difference between Ryan McGee and Wes Durham. I can ask Wes a Star Wars question.
Yeah.
And be like, Joe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can ask you a Star Wars question and be like, well, yes, it's actually on my podcast. Never
Be
tell me the odds.
Be the rest of the show. Yeah. Never tell me the odds. In fact, Clinton Yates is going to be on Marty McGee with me this weekend.
And now,
We'll
hold
probably
on.
bring it up.
Does Clinton Yates really have a kid with a Jedi name?
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
No, named it, and it was. First of all, he sprung that on us. Like we didn't know. It's like kind of like Padme. We didn't even know she's pregnant. All of a sudden, she's got twins, and so all of a sudden, his girlfriend's like having a baby, and then we have a Never Tell Me the Odds group chat. It's an Arto Cal who sounds like a Jedi.
Oh,
Arto
it does.
Cal who covers the NHL for ESPN, and he co-hosts it with us. And so we have a group chat. All of a sudden, Clint's like, "Hey, the baby's here. What the hell are you talking about?"
What baby?
And then it was and named it. Baby's name's Jedi. So
Yep.
there you go.
It's amazing stuff.
No, it is amazing, and I appreciate the guts. Like I appreciate it takes a big swing.
Like you could be a Star Wars fan. I saw you showing off your 2 or 3 phones, however many phones you have, and one of them is like a Star Wars.
Yeah, I got the ring.
You got the Darth Vader ring.
No, I have 2, so I'm a Return of the Jedi guy. And I have 2. I have a work phone and a private phone. Work phone has the Death Star 2 screensaver, and the private phone has the Death Star 2 battle case.
So
and what's funny is people are like, "Oh, you're just a Disney." You're a Disney company guy.
Oh,
No.
please.
I'm OG down at the Cardinal Theater.
in North Hills.
North Hills watching Empire Strikes Back.
I love bringing you on because it's proof to Giglio. See, I'm not the only one, Joe.
No, Marty's the same way.
Yeah,
I
I
started
could
talking
see
about
that.
this stuff, and Marty's eyes glaze over. I wore a sweatshirt on the show the other day, and Marty's like, "What is that?" No, the best Marty was we were doing the show at the height of Marvel's powers, right? I'm talking about like mid end of phase 1.
Yeah.
And Marty on the show. I was talking about something, and I go, our caller called in about Marvel, and I said something. I said, Marty, you don't know what I'm talking about. He goes, no. He goes, I like the one guy. He goes, my son likes him. He goes, who's the one that Robert Downey Jr. plays? And I let it sit for about 5 seconds, and I go, Iron Man.
You mean
And
Iron Man?
And we went to break. Yeah. So, and Marty can quote Tombstone all day. Past that, I don't know.
You were at SEC Media Days, right?
I was.
Are they out of?
Saban's coming back, right?
Are they
Saban's
out of,
coming back.
Are
That
they out of
was a fun day.
storylines? Have we hit, like Marvel, right? It's
Yeah.
like we're just kind of running
Yeah.
out of storylines here.
We lost Thanos, now what?
They
Yeah.
need a
Yeah.
need a Fantastic Four reboot here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's coming. I think that but everybody still has a question mark. Everyone in Atlanta was trying to sell me on LSU.
Okay.
And I believe that Nussmeier is the man.
Okay.
And I think their defense is finally going to be where it should be. But you got to win week one. Now, they can lose week one and still make the playoff. It'd be 6 in a row, week ones if they lose.
Mm-hmm.
And there is and I like Brian Kelly because Brian Kelly now is not Brian Kelly that I first met at Notre Dame. I hated that guy.
Okay.
And he apologizes for being as cantankerous as he is. But
He's with the family.
but there's a ceiling with
Yeah.
him. There just is. And so there's a question mark for everybody. I think everybody has the chance. There's a chance for a couple really good teams, and if Georgia can keep everybody off the highway, then I think they have a chance to get back in the thing.
Can you remember a better slate of Week 1 games ever?
No. And I thought we would not top a year ago. Like a year ago, I went to D23, right, which is the big Disney.
Yeah, explain that to
experience.
Giglio, please.
Yeah, but this is the big Disney convention they do every other year. Fan experience, but I was there. I did Marty McGee from the place, but they had this entire expanded college football playoff thing right next to Lucasfilm and all. But Marvel did all these covers of all the games that opening weekend. I was like, it'll never be better than this.
Yeah,
I think this year's better. I think it's really the first 3 weeks, there's so many cross-conference games. Like South Carolina, Virginia Tech, which South Carolina has a chance to be really good. Virginia Tech, but that has a great storyline with Shane. There's even the games that are middle of the road. Like as a writer, there's great stuff to talk about.
And this kind of goes away if you go to automatic qualifiers. I thought the most interesting thing that's come out of the SEC between the spring meetings and SEC Media Days, and we talked about it with ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips, it's
Right.
like, okay, I get from the Power 4 level, all these commissioners have to get consensus, but actually, it seems that the SEC doesn't even have consensus on what
Right.
they will. Sankey has it in
They
his
don't.
brain what he wants to do, but
Right.
the coaches are like, whoa.
Right.
This is actually good for us.
Yep.
You get better. These non-conference games that we're talking about happens because of a potential 5-11, that
Yep.
kind of stuff, not automatic qualifiers. So I think it's a really interesting time in the SEC.
Yep.
Once you get past all the usual talking points and Greg Sankey's one-liners and things like that, they're clearly gripping over there because they haven't won a title.
Yeah, and how spoiled are you, right? I mean, you only missed 2 years, but it's not just that they didn't win the title; they weren't even in the championship game.
Right.
And I think even if they had gotten someone into the game and lost, the
2 years
perception
in a
would be
row.
different,
Yeah.
right? And I was in Omaha, and the panic was starting to set in.
Yeah,
I
it
bet.
was.
When they had half the field in the tournament starting with 64,
Yep.
and by the time we get to Omaha, no one's left, and the 2 best teams got to play each other. The panic was starting to set in on that deal too. I got there for the second half of the series, and so yeah, just it is definitely spoiled rotten. But listen, I say this all the time. For Marty and McGee, automatic qualifiers is great business.
Okay.
Right? So for Marty and McGee, because our show is televised on the SEC network, it's great. I don't like it. It's not good for football. Like I like as open a field as we can have.
Well, let me ask you this: since you're entrenched with the SEC and Marty McGee, I get the vision of like a football jamboree in Atlanta,
Right.
where you have your SEC championship game and you also have 2 other games that help qualify you for the college football playoff. Is there an appetite for that with SEC fans, though? Like for that kind of football jamboree?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah, but all that takes is one Jordan Travis injury.
exactly.
And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah.
Well, you're right,
Playing
yeah.
extra football.
But I say this too, it's hard to explain the SEC championship experience to anyone else.
Yeah.
Because I've been all of them. I've been all of them. And a lot of years, I get to leave the SEC game in the second quarter, and I make it here in time for ACC in Charlotte because I live in Charlotte. But it's hard to explain how different that weekend is for the SEC. So it would make sense that they defend it. Sankey said on Marty and McGee, we have him on the show every year the morning of the game.
Yeah.
And he said last year, he goes, why would someone not want to be a part of this? And sitting in the moment, he's right.
Yeah.
But But I think that if it went away, I think that people would go, that's weird, for about 2 years. Right. And because the playoff's going to eat it. The playoff's going to eat all this because the reality is they're going to have to push that thing the other direction. Playing championship games, I'm looking around, make sure none of that ESPN program people are here, but playing championship games on the 27th of January is a bad move. And because what I talk about all the time is you cannot overstate the importance of fan habits. You know, I dealt with this with NASCAR. When NASCAR started pulling up routes and going to places that were going to love it for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then they were going to find something else to do.
Yeah.
But I worked at NASCAR for a couple of years, and I would sit in these meetings, and they would always say, "Yeah, but the core fan base will never go away." Right? The core. Yeah, they did. They did.
They went away.
Because I say this all the time about the paperless tickets. You're embarrassing the gray-headed guy that paid for the practice facility because he can't figure out how to use his ticket. You know, you have to think about these things and not push it forward so fast. So anyhow, I'm babbling, but the playoffs to me, the playoff is gonna have to be pushed backwards. We learned that last year on some levels. We're several years away from it, and when that happens, it's gonna eat championship weekend, and it should.
Ryan McGee, ESPN SEC Network. Always good catching up with you. Good seeing you in Charlotte.
It's good. Yeah.
That beer right there.
That's yours.
I want to give you a little street cred right now for us.
Yeah.
We went to Broughton.
Yeah. No. I can't believe
No,
I
he's
said I went to Enloe.
You went to Enloe.
Okay.
Enloe product.
Okay.
I went to Enloe. No, the only thing I did at Broughton was unsuccessfully ask out one of Albano's daughters.
Oh.
Whoa.
We're at the old.
No, that's
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
No. We're going to take this cooler somewhere that doesn't have microphones, so we'll have that story.
Yeah, you have to tell me that
I
story.
tried to tell that story to Bob on ESPN Radio one time, and he shut me down.
Bob's like, I don't want to hear
You
it.
need to stop telling the story.
We are selling our products at the old 7-Even, the Peace Street Market.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that give us credit?
It does with the Inside the Belt line crew.
Okay, good.
You guys are
Okay.
No, there's a lot of reasons why I love you guys. And I loved y'all before y'all were y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the biggest reasons is it keeps me in touch. It keeps me in touch with my Cap City roots.
I love it. Ryan McGee, we appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it, boys.
Take the beer. Big thanks to our friends at Happy and Hale. You can check them out online with their app. Download the app today and use our promo code OG25 to save 25% off your first
Let's
order.
take a break. Let's take a hockey break. Brought to you by Happy and Hale.
Joe Giglio was inadvertently roped into a hockey break at breakfast this morning, thanks to me and ESPN's Andrea Adelson. Just a couple of hockey parents talking hockey parent things, Joe.
You guys are in a cult. I just hope you know it. If you recognize it, the first step is recognizing it.
Yeah.
And if you can accept it, then that's fine.
See, she thought it was really cool that we were going to go to Buffalo in February.
Strangely, she did.
Right.
And somehow topped you
She did.
with a Lake Placid trip.
She did top me on that. I was very much like, you got to do the
You
Lake
got
Placid.
to go to Lake
Oh
Placid.
man, I've been trying to do that. Oh, I can't. I don't know if we can make that happen. Dang. Oh, your husband was in the USA in the Team USA Miracle Hockey Room. Oh, I'm so jealous.
I need to get you an August trip to Columbia, South Carolina as your second prize here.
Well, what's funny is I'm actually in negotiations with the Columbia Cyclones about a home and home exhibition.
The seventh circle of hell.
So, anyway, where were we? Happy and Hale. Check them out. Download the app. Save time. Not only are you saving money with the promo code, but you're saving time. You can order online, pick up, and go about your business. Time is money.
Well,
folks.
OG25. Use that promo code. Save 25%. First time you use it on the app. Download the app, man.
Do it
Great
right
app.
now.
Great service.
In fact, you might be running around because you're looking for a new house, right? So you got to pick up, go to your next showing, things like that. Contact our friends at Hometown Realty. Right now, the housing market's going through a little bit of a fluctuation right now, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take advantage of the inventory that's available to you. It seems to be this holding pattern with interest rates. People are anticipating rates coming down. And look, you know how I feel about interest rates. Just contact our friends at Miller Lending, right? So you contact them, you get a rate. If the rates are going to come down in the future, just refinance again, and you got the house you've been looking for rather than scrambling with everybody else the minute the rates come down. So contact our friends at Hometown Realty to find out more. That's myhtr.com. Hanging out with us at ACC Kickoff to not talk about the ACC is Mike Solarte, Spectrum News.
Well, I sat down thinking we were going to talk about Frank Reich, man. Come on.
I mean, it was Panthers coaches past and present, because I know you're at Panthers training camp as well. And I'm really curious about this season, man, because
a lot of people are,
because
man.
it's one of these things where
The hype is real.
the level of hopium that is being consumed based on a small sample size at the end of the year.
I was going to say, does that come in the small bag, the bigger bag?
It does not come in 16-ounce cans like OG Light.
Well, that's true.
I know that.
That's true.
It's a concentrated dose. You can't take too much hopium, you know? So I'm trying to present this to you as not somebody that is coming as like a hater to the Panthers or whatever it is. It's more along the lines of, it's been so long, 10 years, to be happy about the Panthers.
Well, yeah.
That you're taking anything. Like, I wasn't kidding about the Summer League championship for the Hornets. Hornets haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. They can't get out of the playing games. I wanted to go buy a shirt. I'd be celebrating it.
Well, they are.
I'm just saying.
They are.
I went to the store. I went to the pop-up store on North Tryon. They didn't have any stores. Like, oh, you have to buy it online, sir. I'm like, you need to be stuck with this now, because this town is desperate to feel good about itself.
It has. Oh, man. It's been a slog, bro.
Right.
I mean, who knew
I
that
know you're jealous.
The glory days of 10 years ago.
I mean, imagine you with the Canes running like they are now in the old 850 The Buzz days.
Oh. Rod would have banned me from the locker room by now. He'd have banned me. He'd have just said, Mike, look, love you, but you got to stay away.
You've had enough.
But you're right. It has been a challenge covering the professional teams in Charlotte for a number of years now.
Yes.
And the Hornets getting that Summer League championship, I think it's great for the young guys learning how to win.
Good for Con Knippel.
Build that confidence up, something to take with them into training camp.
Yeah.
Do not hang a banner.
Why not?
Do not hang a banner.
I absolutely.
No. Stop.
What was the phone number? 919-860-850? What was it? Pound 850?
Pound 850.
Pound 850?
Exactly.
Call right now.
No.
Mike, I want a Diet Pepsi with light ice. I want a banner. There we go.
There is no banner for a summer league. Stop. I mean, come on.
Look, jokes aside, I think you and I are in agreement. People are looking to feel good.
Yes, it has been a slog for sports fans in this city for a long time.
Yes.
And again, the Hornets doing the nice work in the summer league. If they can stay healthy, they may have a chance to maybe win half of their games, which would be a playoff team.
Just make the playoffs.
Which would be a playoff team.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Carolina Panthers, it's been a minute. We're starting the 10-year anniversary season of that 15-1 march to Super Bowl 50.
To illustrate how desperate, and I'm not making this a Charlotte thing, but just how desperate people are to feel good about stuff. This is a team that we're celebrating that didn't win
exactly
the Super Bowl.
They were the NFC champions. That's it. They were not the Super Bowl champs. They were the NFC champions. And they dominated that conference.
Of course.
And
I'll never forget that year.
And they got schemed out of their brains in Super Bowl 50.
Yeah.
And Wade did his defense. He did his defensive magic. Bottled up Cam. We all know how it played out. So it's been a minute since there've been good feelings. But to talk about the dosage of hopium that's going around, I think there's good reason for it.
Okay, that's what I wanted to transition to. So, the impression that I got at the beginning of last year, how everything played out with Bryce Young, leading up to the Andy Dalton accident, was Bryce had lost.
I was the other driver that hit Dalton. By the way. I'm kidding.
Because you had Bryce on your fantasy team. I need this. I need the points. Right. So I got the sense that Bryce had lost that trust, and then they were left with no choice but to, all right, man, we got to build this back up. All the credit, in my mind, goes to Bryce for not being broken after what had happened to him, not just that year with Dave Canales, but the previous year, right? So a lot of credit goes to Bryce. I just don't know if they're good enough defensively. I like what they've done on offense to add some pieces around Bryce. I just don't know if they're good enough defensively to make it a go. So what is a successful year? Is it playoffs or bust, or is it knocking on the door of the playoffs to give you more momentum into the next season.
Let's look around the neighborhood of the NFC South, shall we?
Always a good thing to do.
Because if you look around, there are 4 houses under repair in the NFC South.
Yeah.
And the one that's closest to market value is Tampa Bay because they've won the division. But they ain't great.
No.
Okay? They ain't great.
No.
New Orleans, rebuilding. Atlanta, new quarterback. Maybe Penix finds something.
They seem like a mess right now with Kirk Cousins.
Exactly. So the South, the long story short, the division is there for the taking. Now, your points about the defense, absolutely valid, because they were DFL in just about every meaningful statistical category last year.
That's tough to turn around like that.
Exactly. And the thing that, and Vashti, I heard,
Carolina Blitz. Yep.
Been on with us, and
she's great.
I love her. And I talked to her. I actually had her on our show, Chevrolet Sports Night, and I said, "Are you surprised, as I was, that Ejiro Evero kept his job as defensive coordinator? Because when you've got a defense that bad, what's the cause? Is it the scheme or is it the personnel?
Yeah.
They got hammered with injuries. That team got hit with injuries all over the place last year. So you can kind of forgive some of that stuff. And I know that Canales is very fond of EJ, and I'm not here to say he's a bad coach, but if anybody's feet are on the fire this year, it's EJ. It's Ejiro Evero.
That would make
because
a lot of sense.
That defense has got to be. If that defense is pedestrian, average, middle of the road,
that's a step up.
It's half the league.
Yeah.
You've overcome half of the league.
Yeah.
So if they can get back, and in his first season, he was really good. I mean, the defense was great. So,
yeah, but there's been talent attrition.
There's talent.
They have to reload.
Talent attrition. There's injuries and all that. And
I don't want to make fun of the WFNZ callers, but like I'm listening to Kyle Bailey driving around yesterday
You
afternoon.
can go ahead and do that. You're a podcast. Go for it.
This is true. I always get the FNZ text line popping anytime I'm on. So like they were having a freak out over Josie Jewell. I'm like, guys, this ain't making or breaking the.
That linebacker room is going to miss Josie Jewell's leadership.
Sure.
But they just got a lot younger and a lot more vibrant. And I think, and I don't mean that they could have done without Josie.
No.
They need a guy like him. They do. No more Shaq Thompson. They need that veteran in that room. But they got a lot more. They got a lot more younger, a little more vibrant, and now. Christian Roseboom's got the green dot on first day of practice playing in the middle.
Yeah.
He's coming off a pretty good season. He's one of the offseason acquisitions that they brought in. This is a guy that if he kind of continues on his path, doesn't have to expand on the season he had last year, but if he stays on those numbers, he's going to be a really nice piece in that defense. So the defense has got to get better. I think the assumption is that Bryce is going to continue to improve.
I would assume so, yeah.
Which I think is safe because that offensive line's intact, and they were maulers last year. And now you got a confident running back in Chuba Hubbard who had his best season of his career.
But you're
got paid, and he's got Rico Dowdle to run as his Batman.
Yeah.
Robin to his Batman. This is
see O-line and running back.
The hopium is starting to hit, bro.
But here's where I think they take the next step is those wide receivers need to pay off.
Oh yeah.
Liggett
right.
Liggett needs to get over whatever was holding him back last year.
He was dinged. He was playing through a lot of stuff last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got this McMillan.
Teteroa McMillan.
T-Mac. Nalo is what he doesn't like being T-Mac though.
No, well, he doesn't like Tet.
He doesn't like Tet.
He doesn't like Tet.
Okay.
He likes T-Mac is good. Nalo or Teteroa.
I'm gonna go with Nalo. I like that. I like it rolls off the tongue.
That is pretty good.
We'll close the conversation on this because I think this is the most fascinating part of all this. David Tepper, much like Tom Dundon, Carolina Hurricanes owner, not as visible these days.
Yeah.
Now, I know why Tom Dundon isn't as visible. I think he's got his hand in a lot of different things. The Hurricanes are they're running hot right now. They believe and trust in Eric Tulsky. They've got Brian Fork and Doug Wharf handling all the day-to-day stuff. So Tom can kind of not be as visible. Tepper, separate reason why he might be less visible. Has the light bulb gone on? Are the football people running the football people? Was there something that kind of got this to happen for Tepper?
I'm gonna give you my opinion.
Okay.
All right. I don't have factual basis or knowledge on this.
I think it's a good thing for the Panthers.
This is my strictly opinion, my observational opinion. I think someone got in David Tepper's ear and said, "Let the football people be football people."
Clearly not his driver who went to the bar. That wasn't the guy in his ear. He encouraged that. He encouraged that.
Hey, get in there. No. And look, I've had plenty of conversations with Mr. Tepper. I think I like him. I think he's a dynamite guy.
Sure.
He's a dynamite guy. I don't tell him how to run his businesses. He doesn't tell me how to sportscast. And there is a noticeable. I guess the shadow's not as great. It's not as long on the Panthers these days. Cast from him, and I agree. I think it's a good thing.
But be careful with the water.
Well,
that distance might go a little further.
That's true.
Yes.
So, remember, we got the ice. I know that was a bad look. That's tough to defend.
But I do agree. I do agree with you that something had to have happened that finally got somebody in his circle that he listens to be like, "Hey, dude,
you can still own the team. You can still make appearances. You can still go to practice and go to games. You don't have to be as involved in the day-to-day because." And I say this in the hopes that he sees this. You don't have to be Jerry Jones.
No. Well, you're seeing how that's all playing
because
out.
Exactly right.
You could get in a car accident. Really, man?
That's not the formula for success. And Dallas Cowboy fans, I don't know how they've put up with it this long. I worked in Texas 100 years ago.
I know.
When they were good.
Yeah.
They won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And Emmitt Smith got thrown out of a gator at training camp because Crazy Ray jumped in front of it. It was bizarro. But Tepper being a little more hands-off, I think, has allowed folks to maybe breathe a little, do their jobs, be the people that they in those roles that they need to be.
And do you think Dan Morgan can be that guy?
I think Dan Morgan's cooked so far.
Okay.
I think he's done a pretty good job.
I agree with you.
He's only a couple years in, and so just like coaches, I don't like using it's the Dan Morgan era because he's been there a short time.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 5, 6 years, then you get an era.
Yeah.
But as you're getting to this point, the moves that have been made so far on paper have been positive. But last year they worked on the offense, it got rolling. This offseason they had to work on the defense. How does that get rolling?
We'll see how it goes.
And now the one thing that was really talked about on day one, or the reporting day yesterday, was that the players have assumed more of a leadership role. It's more of a player-led group than a coach-led group. And I think that is going to be critical for this team because if those guys in the room believe in each other the way that they told us they did last year and the way they finished, then they build off of that momentum to take it into week one this year, and then we see where it goes.
Mike Solarte, Spectrum News. You mentioned Chevrolet. Heathrow Automotive Group. That's where you get your Chevrolet.
Really?
Back in the Triangle. This is corporate synergy, Mike.
I know. I'm interested in listening to this.
Corporate synergy. So hit up the Heathrow Automotive Group. They are your hotline sponsor. Hey, man, it was good catching up.
Always good. Always a great time talking to you, brother.
Should I do a 2020 sports update next?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
This is your sports update with Joe Ovies.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, bro.
Big thanks to our friends at Whitaker and Hamer. Check them out online at wh.lawyer. Again, that's wh.lawyer. Can they crack the grant of rights?
They kind of sort of did. Being honest.
Maybe if you are looking to tie somebody's media rights until 2036, Whitaker and Hamer can help you out with that. They can drop a contract for you.
Yes.
So hit them up.
Do whatever you want. They can take care of all your legal needs.
This is true. They got locations all across North Carolina as well. So check them out, wh.lawyer. Again, that's wh.lawyer. Big thanks to our friends at Nature's Relief. I'm telling you right now, I could have used Nature's Relief last night.
You said the bed was too hard. My bed was too soft.
But we're not swapping because you already, I already soiled the bed. So
fine.
We don't want that. So what I need to do is getting up there in age. It is what it is. So what you do is you go to Nature's Relief and you say, you know what? I need something that's going to zonk me out when I'm on vacation in a bed that I'm not familiar with. We got you.
That's a challenge right there.
We got you. So naturesreliefhempstore.com. That's RELEAF hempstore.com. They go beyond that. You're looking for things that just kind of chill you out. You're looking for alcohol alternatives in terms of drinks. They've got that as well, including alternative wine. It's all there at Nature's Relief. They're going to help you out. So again, check them out, naturesreliefhempstore.com.
We're going to be at the Garner location on Timber Drive, August 21st.
Very
Come
excited.
see us. We'll be live.
Joining us at ACC Kickoff on the Heister Automotive Group microphone is our friend Taylor Tannebaum. How are you?
I'm great. Happy to be with you guys. Always great to see your faces here.
Are you preparing for Jimbo Fisher's addition to the ACC network, the work you will be doing with him by listening to podcasts, preferably ours, at 2.5x?
Yes. Yes, I am. And to be fair, I am a pretty fast talker as
Sure.
well, but it's going to make me seem like a tortoise. But I'm so happy to have him. It's going to be a ton of fun. I lose one Florida State Seminole and EJ Manuel on the road. He's going to studio, which is awesome. And then I get Jimbo Fisher. So it's like we're just cycling them in.
Now, who talked faster, Jimbo in general or Mike Norvell?
Mike Norvell's speed can be fast, but it's a little slower. It's more so the intensity. The inflection can get up there with Mike.
We talking about the Knowles here.
Yeah, we are.
And I could see where the up and down might match the up and down of season to season.
Yes.
And while, look, Joe and I, we can do some predictability with like NC State. Oh, nobody's talking about the Wolfpack? They'll have a good season.
For sure.
Carolina, a little unknown, but I feel like Florida State is the biggest unknown.
I would agree. And much like Carolina, there hasn't been a ton of media access internally for people to watch what they've been doing throughout the spring.
Yeah.
We know some of the names of the players, but Mike Norvell did close the doors this spring to try to keep the noise out, because I think that's certainly filtered in last year. So we really haven't seen a ton of them on the field. They've done their interviews, but that's about it. And it's also a question mark starting, first of all, at quarterback with Thomas Castellanos. We've seen some great. We've seen some mediocre. And then also 2 new coordinators. So really, what are you getting? Mike Norvell not calling the plays anymore. So what does the offense look like? You can guess with Gus Malzahn. He's been around a time or two.
Track record with Gus.
But, you know, it's going to be a completely different team. And I don't know. Do they really put 2-10 in the rear view? Or do they let that trickle into 25? Because I would argue them being left out of the playoff the year before did play a factor in their 2024 demise.
But you would think that was all the motivation in the world that you would
think.
need. Like, we got shut out, we belong, let's prove the haters, all the usual stuff that you hear from coaches and players. I mean, we live in a world where, a school like Georgia can say, well, people counted us out. Nobody's counting Georgia out.
Ever.
Florida State had it built in for them, and yet. But,
I think they really lacked leadership.
Okay.
Like, they lost so much leadership from that team that got left out of the playoff that I don't think there was enough carryover to say, put it away, we're moving forward. Like, when there was stuff going on, I don't think there were enough people in that locker room that stood up and took ownership.
That's fair.
I think this year there may be some, because some of these guys stayed that went through the trenches last year. They don't want to feel like that again, I can assure you, because I'm sure it's been probably pretty hard to walk around Tallahassee if you're a football player after last season. So I'm hoping that the leadership learned from last year, and some of the guys who stayed will really implement that this year.
Sorry, I'm laughing because how you're talking about in Tallahassee.
We laugh through the pain, okay?
You made me think about the time Florida State fans were so mad at Chris Ricks, he ended up getting ratted out in terms of parking tickets. Like, you're the quarterback of Florida State. You should never pay for parking.
It was a handicap parking spot.
Still, it's like, it's Chris Ricks. Let him go. Like, nah, man.
Nope.
You're not good enough.
Like, no mercy
We're
at all.
calling you out.
One too many interceptions there.
Yes. Anyway.
I'd prefer my current quarterback to not be saying what he's saying, but I love Tommy's confidence, and I never want that to change, so go ahead and do you. Now walk the walk.
I mean, last year, I think they lose that first game, to your point. It felt like a carryover. And I was the one saying that next day. Everyone was dumping on them. I said they could still lose the game. The playoff era is completely different.
Right.
They can still make the playoff. Like, you don't need to fold up the season because you lost to, by the way, a pretty good Georgia Tech team that we've come to find out.
Right.
So this year, I think it's the opposite chance. No one thinks they're going to beat Alabama. I do. I think they're going to open the season with a win over Alabama and completely flip the script from last year. I love Castellanos, and I love Gus Malzahn. I mean, I'm not impugning Mike Norvell as a play caller or a coach or anything like that, but it's Dabo Swinney became Dabo Swinney when he stepped away, hired Brent Venables, hired Chad Morris, and said, I'm going to be the CEO of this program. I'm going to recruit my ass off, coach when it's appropriate, but I'm letting these guys coach the actual team. I think that's going to be big for them. Now, their defensive line needs to get better. I think that was kind of hidden last year. Their defensive line was dog shit last year.
Yeah, they didn't get to the quarterback enough.
They got bitched around by everybody.
Yeah.
Like, Boston College ran all over them. Georgia Tech ran all over them. Like, you can't have that shit happen, especially at Florida State, where they actually recruit at a higher level. But I'm telling you, I believe in your school today only because you're wearing the Wolfpack
I am.
red today.
I'm wearing a very bright red suit today, like very monochromatic. The tank top is even red. I chose not to wear it on Thursday when the actual pack are coming because I know Carolina and Duke fans will absolutely roast me, so I just wore it today.
So we have a hat
Smart.
for you that actually matches the outfit you're wearing right now.
We have like a whole thing for
I
you.
see. And you know what?
Is that too young for you? Is that too young of a reference? Those game, that logo, like the lined hats, the game hats.
Maybe.
Okay.
I
But
just
that's
turned
yours.
34 this week.
Oh yeah, that's
Aw,
yeah,
happy birthday.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Happy birthday.
These are
but
my high school colors. I do want to say NC State colors, my high school colors. So
That's yours.
We rock
It-
this. Cooper
it-
City Cowboys.
We have a
you go.
shirt for you too. It might be a sleeping shirt, but check the shirt out.
No, we like big T-shirts in this house.
Yeah, big
I
T-shirts
love
are
it.
a thing.
I'm so grateful. Last year, you guys gave me ice cream, which was great, and inevitably melted all over
The chocolate
me.
ice cream,
It
yeah.
was
which is
good.
why we brought our own beer this
Beer.
year.
And you don't,
So-
we can open
Guys.
it now if you want. No, look at the back of the OG Light shirt. It's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
You'll enjoy it.
It'll take you back to college.
Yes.
Yeah, with our after darks and all that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
this is perfect. Which one were you? the
I
possum or
was-
the raccoon?
Nah, I was definitely a possum.
Yeah.
I
in
was the owl.
college. Yeah, Giglio was the owl.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah, for sure. I was the bat just watching and cheering people on. That's what I was doing. Keck stands for all.
So I find the juxtaposition of Mike Norvell and Florida State and how they've gone about things, and Florida State being used as an example and pointing it to Dabo at Clemson saying, hey, man, you got to get with the times. You got to get all these transfer guys. And suddenly Dabo's sitting pretty.
Yeah.
He's got all the things that you talked about. They didn't have a leadership in the room to overcome what had happened the year before. Well, Dabo's got all those things at Clemson
Absolutely.
that they've built. The question is, and we asked your colleague Eric McElwain about this.
He was trying to fight me yesterday.
Super unbiased. I'm sure.
Yeah, very unbiased. The question isn't whether or not it's not whether or not Clemson can win the ACC. We know they can win the ACC. They'll probably do it again. They'll probably be unanimous coming out of this. The question is, can they be better than ACC good? Because that's the issue right now. Can they elevate above that? What do you think about Clemson and what they've built? And Cade Klubnik's on year, 6 now at Clemson?
Feels like it.
Right?
Yeah.
So how good can Clemson be?
Can they do it? Yes. Will they? That is the question. That's the question for anyone. That's why it's talking season right now.
It is.
I do think they do. Because I do believe that experience from last year, while it did still have some ups and downs, they still had some moments last year. Making it to the playoff, I thought that was the most competitive game, really, of the playoff we had seen, that Clemson-Texas game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And Cade really showed a lot of growth last year, and especially in that leadership role. Like, he went from kid to man, in my opinion. And I do believe they have pieces at every position to get this done. Running backs may be the one question mark, but I do believe they'll be able to figure that out. And Coach was talking about when you have a freshman running back, that's like the one position that you can just hand the rock off to and say, go.
Yeah.
You know, the one position you can trust as a freshman.
You ready for the circus tomorrow?
The Bill Belichick circus?
Yeah.
Or the Jordan Hudson one? Which one?
You think she shows up?
No.
Nah, I don't think she shows up either.
No. I think
Although they
they've-
are filming a Hulu thing, right? Or reportedly, that deal's not closed yet, but she's still shopping that doc.
I will say it went from a lot of noise to very silent very quickly.
Yeah.
Like 0 to 100 to 0.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. I'm excited to finally talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a chance to have him on a show. We haven't gotten that opportunity yet. So I genuinely want to learn something about this Carolina team because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I don't.
I've seen some spectacles at ACC Kickoff. You know, Butch Davis, was a
Gosh.
spectacle with the
Was it?
NCAA. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
What do you anticipate the spectacle being? Like cameras following him at room to room? It's like that at SEC Media Days. I spent plenty of times doing that
Yeah,
in the
but
past.
you know, it's interesting. We were talking about this with Wes Durham earlier when he sat down. SEC Media Days have been kind of bland the last couple of years.
They have.
Like the best bit they had was, "Hey, Nick Saban, maybe," and Greg McElroy immediately walked that back.
Yeah.
I would say this, and I know you talked to SMU and Cal and Stanford. As an old, crusty 40-60-year-old who's been to a lot of these, it was refreshing to see schools so excited to be here.
Yes.
Right? Andrew Luck, who has no affinity for the ACC, just being like, man, I'm just hyped to be here, right?
He's just happy.
And Belichick adds yet another element to the ACC that has to make the network absolutely happy.
Thrilled.
I mean, you had what? Ron Rivera, Frank Reich, Andrew Luck, right? Bill Belichick's coming through things. I know the main press room is going to be interesting. Is that will he show up in the breakouts? That's the real question.
Ooh,
I think there's a chance you're disappointed tomorrow.
you do. How
Yeah.
many questions are people really going to get in?
Well, I mean, we have a precedent in Mike Krzyzewski in coming to these events and not like doing that much.
Yeah, see, that was
right?
before my time.
Yeah,
so.
like we have precedent for this.
Yeah.
He comes, he does his press
then out
conference,
he
he
goes.
answers some questions. He'll do the ACC. I believe he'll do the ACC network.
I would hope so.
Oh, he's on my
believe-
schedule.
I believe
Okay.
he'll do the ACC network.
At least you have a schedule.
I have a schedule.
Now, to me, maybe the more interesting thing is, do they bring Lombardi? I know they're bringing Gio Lopez. That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
We've been here at these events, and schools are reluctant to bring either guys who haven't played there before or are freshmen because they don't want to promote them. So I think it's a positive sign for Carolina that at least we're getting their quarterback. That
Bring
feels
the
like a good thing.
Bring the people we want to talk to. It's only going to help the program, right?
Yeah.
Create some buzz.
And that's honestly, that's how he got into the situation that he found himself in. When you don't provide any information, the vacuum will be filled.
Oh, yeah.
And it was filled with your 24-year-old girlfriend and
100%.
speculation about anything and everything about their relationship, right? When all you had to do was say, hey, who looks really good? Max Johnson had this surgery. He's back.
He's back.
I'm telling you, man, you got to pull the old NFL training camp bullshit. Like, our third-string tight end made an unbelievable one-handed catch over his head. You have to give people information.
The people just want football right now. That's all they're asking for. We're clamoring
But
for
when
it.
you sit there and say, nah, and then when you don't understand Freedom of Information Act and being at a public university, it's a bad combo.
It's a
But
time.
I think they have learned from that. I actually have a lot of faith in Carolina this year. I think they could have a Syracuse-like turnaround.
Do you? Okay.
I do.
All right.
Taylor, we appreciate the time as always. You got to get back to set. We appreciate it. Have fun tomorrow.
Than's so much. Now I'm gonna come meet with you guys after to debrief. How's that sound?
Perfect. I love
cannot
it.
wait.
I love
Thank
it.
you for my fun gear.
You're
I'm
welcome.
pumped.
And we got beer for you, too.
Matches my my suit too.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Big thanks to Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority. Check them out at bugsbite.com. I was walking around uptown Charlotte yesterday looking for Charlotte Hornets Summer League Championship merch.
I mean, yesterday I told you we could put a banner in Charlotte colors that says Summer League champs.
It was tough sledding. I did not.
Michael
find
can make
any.
it work right now.
Maybe. Apparently, they're going to be selling them online, or they're already selling them online. I'm like, yeah, but I want it in hand right now. Like, come on now. So that was me walking around yesterday. It's gross in North Carolina right now. That gross weather leads to mosquitoes. Bugs.
I got bit just walking from the after party to the
Brutal.
car.
So contact our friends at bugsbite.com with Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority to keep that at bay. Big thanks to the Butcher's Market. You can check them out online at thebutchersmarkets.com. We're in football mode, so you might be thinking already about tailgates or backyard tailgates with the screen outside. You want to do it right. You want to go to the Butcher's Market. They're looking at every variety of burger you can imagine, from just straight 85-15, filet mignon, wagyu, however you pronounce that. They got it. Ostrich burgers, they got that too. Hot dogs.
I think I got the tuna last time out of the frozen section. Tuna steaks. They were nice.
So get everything that you need for your tailgates as you start prepping at The Butcher's Market. Again, check them out online at thebutchersmarkets.com. Let's wrap things up, shall we? All right, no, hey Joe, as we're just kind of like processing through ACC Kickoff. So we'll just kind of wrap things up and remind people that we have the OG listener survey happening right now. Go to oviesandjoe.com. Soft launching an actual website. It only took 2 years plus for us to get an actual real adult website. So go to oviesandjoe.com.
Like they say, we build the plane as we're flying.
Oviesandjoe.com. There's a link there for the survey. Or you could just text the sports phone directly at 919-444-2211. I will eventually text you back.
Feels like work for you, sir.
I did it this morning, as I was sipping my coffee from the Accomplished Greatness. And I have to say, I already put this on Instagram.
Yeah.
What did I do with my coffee? I'll get more coffee.
They stepped up, man. They really did. I'm impressed.
This is relatable content. Back in the day, Alec Campbell, our producer, had this sounder. It's like, warning, relatable radio. Warning, relatable radio. Because as host, you have to seem relatable to the audience. Really connect, right? Something a consultant told me once. So, not the life coach. And
different.
It was a different consultant who I'm not making this up. He basically had like a binder of things that worked at other radio stations. Like, you should try this. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Anyway, I digress. I think we can all understand if you're a coffee drinker. And when I eliminated soda from my diet, it was a slow process from, high Coke heavy to Diet Coke. Then Coke Zero was a revelation. Then I got away from that because one way or the other, you're just putting junk in your body.
Okay.
And so I started with coffee, but I would sweeten it up with sugar and cream and all that kind of stuff. But I slowly weaned myself off of that. And now I just drink coffee black.
Coffee.
And I have discovered that some places that people go to religiously, if you just have their coffee black, you realize, oh, no wonder you do all these things to the coffee, because the coffee itself really isn't that good. And I think we all recognize that when you go to places like this, you go to a hotel lobby coffee can be battery acid. I mean, let's be real.
It's not great.
It's not great. I know you have feelings about the Lenovo Center coffee.
The worst. Anywhere. Ever.
Is it really the worst ever?
Yes.
I feel like this is a sports phone prompt. What's the worst coffee you've ever had?
You need to get speaking of prompts. I know it's Wednesday. But
Yeah.
Monday's your Paw Patrol day. Your reunion with Chris Clark.
No, August 4th is.
Oh, that's right.
Because
we're
you were supposed
in
to
action
be-
next week.
We are in
right.
normal action next week.
Okay.
But yes, Chris Clark will be here, and
You got to start promoting that one.
He's breaking down
Because
Paw Patrol
I
propaganda.
feel like the one mistake we made with the Triangle Good was when you were gone, we didn't have enough phone calls.
Oh, I
Because
see.
that was like whole episodes from the worst losses. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Well, that one resonated. I think to your point, we started out of the gate hot. We should have saved that one.
We went golf and NASCAR.
Right.
We had our best event
Daytona for straight up, right? Anyway, I feel like this is a prompt. Like, what's some of the worst coffee you've ever had anywhere, right? Like, you're just desperate for coffee. You're just like, fine, I'll drink
Lenovo
this.
Center is on the board.
So, as I joked on Instagram, if your coffee cups are going to say accomplished greatness, you can't be putting mid coffee in there. You can't.
I know.
I'll tell you what.
The cups are great, though.
The cups are great. We took a sleeve because we have to pour OG Light in them. But I got to say, the Hilton coffee is actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
No, it's like legitimate. I was pleasantly surprised.
Good.
Like in levels of hotel lobby
Oh, I
coffee.
see what you're saying. You had very low expectations. Then you had it, and you were like, you know what? This isn't terrible.
Really, it's like the Ovies and Giglio of hotel coffee.
It's
like,
coffee flavor coffee.
you go in there and you're thinking, hey, it's not going to be that good. And then you come away pleasantly surprised. Like, all things considered, it wasn't that bad. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, take the survey. Text 919-444-2211. I'll eventually text you back manually. Or you could just go to oviesandgiglio.com and click the link on the website. We will see you tomorrow for what will be
The
Bill-
longest day in history of the kickoff.
the Bill Belichick extravaganza. We'll see you then.
Cramping.